This is 6th grade Excel, lesson number 8, solving word problems by listing possibilities or making a chart. And these are some pretty tricky word problems. Unless you've done Excel before, you probably are not going to know how to solve these. You're going to want to watch this real carefully. If you did Excel last year, then this will probably be a review for you. Maurice and Donnie have 8 marbles. Maurice has 2 more marbles than Donnie. How many marbles does Donnie have? Okay, so these two guys right here, together, they have these 8 marbles. And Maurice has 2 more than Donnie. Now here's what most kids do. They're going to take 8 minus 2 to solve the problem. It's not that kind of a problem. Let's think about what the problem is really saying. Together, here are their 8 marbles. Oh, that's 7. One more, 8. And it says Maurice has 2 more than Donnie. Well, if you just do 8 minus 2 is 6, then that means one of them has 6. Now let's see, here's 6 right here. Okay, but it says Maurice has 2 more marbles than Donnie. If this person has 6, the other person has how many? Because together they have 8. The other person has 2. Is 6 2 more than 2? Well, no. 6 is 4 more than 2. So I call these types of problems the 2-clue problems. They're giving you 2 clues, and then you have to find the answer not by just doing a simple math problem, but by doing what I'm going to show you in a second. The 2 clues in this problem are that together they have 8 marbles, and the second clue is that one person has 2 more than the other person does. So when you see a problem like that that gives you 2 clues as to the answer, it doesn't really directly tell you add or subtract or multiply or divide, but it's just kind of clues on something, then you're going to use the method that I'm going to show you right now. First, you're going to make a list of all the possible answers. If they have 8 together, one kid could have 8 and the other could have 0. That would make 8 altogether. Or one kid could have 7 and the other could have 1. That would be 8 altogether. 6 and 2 makes 8, 5 and 3 makes 8, and 4 and 4 makes 8. Now you might be thinking, how come they didn't go to 3 and 5, and then 2 plus 6? Well, they already have those right here and right here. So once you get to the halfway point where the numbers match, or they're really close, like one off from each other, then you can stop listing your possibilities. So this is your show work for this type of a problem. Now you have the first clue taken care of, and that is that they have 8 altogether. It's got to be one of these choices. But the second clue says that one person has 2 more than the other. So let's take a look at this first choice. What if one kid had 8 and the other one had 0? How many more does this kid have than this kid? Well, this kid has 8 more than the other one. So that cannot be the choice. It's got to be 2 more than the other one. What if one kid has 7, the other kid has 1? Well, that means that the 7 person has 6 more than the 1 person. Some kids have a really hard time seeing that. Think of this not as an addition problem, but just 2 numbers, 7 and 1. How many more is 7 than 1? 6 more. 7 is 6 more than 1, because 1 plus 6 is 7, or 7 take away 1 is 6. So that's a difference of 7 on that combination, 6 on that combination. We want a difference of 2, so that's not going to work. How about 6 and 2? How many more is 6 than 2 is? That's a difference of 4, because 6 minus 2 is 4. So we don't want that one either. How about 5 and 3? 5 is 2 more than 3, isn't it? 5 minus 3 is 2. So the 5 and the 3 are 2 apart from each other. That means this kid has 2 more than the other kid does. And what you want to do once you find the combination is put the letters of their names next to each number. So we have Maurice and Donnie. It says Maurice has 2 more. So that means this has to be Maurice and that has to be Donnie, because Maurice has the most marbles between the 2 of them. And then the question says, how many does Donnie have? So Donnie would have the one next to the D, or Donnie has 3 marbles. All right, if that was too complicated for you, you might want to pause the video, go back and watch that part again. We're going to do some problems like that. Let's do this first one together, okay? Go through the steps in order to solve each of these problems. April and Ivy read 9 books over their summer break. That means together these 2 people did 9 books. That's my first clue. April read 1 less book than Ivy. There's my second clue, 1 less. How many books did April read? So remember the 2 steps in doing this. So I'm going to list all the possibilities that make 9 together. 9 and 0, everybody write this on your paper. 8 and 1, I'm going to move over to here, so I never want to run into my answer blank spot, so I can put my answer right there. 7 and 2 makes 9, 6 and 3 makes 9, and 5 and 4 makes 9. The next one I could list would be 4 and 5, but I've already got 4 with 5 right there. Now, which one of these combinations has one number that's 1 less than the other number? 9 and 0, that's 9 less than 0 is 9 less than 9, so that can't be it. 1 is 7 less than 8. 2 is 5 less than 7. 3 is 3 less than 6. So the only one that works is this one here, because 4 is 1 less than 5. It says April read 1 less, so we know that's April. Everybody put an A right there. And Ivy read this one. It says, how many books did April read? The answer would be 4. 4 books. So fill that all in on your paper, and then go ahead and try number 2. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready for the solution. It says Micah and Reuben have 6 belts. Micah has 4 more than Reuben. How many belts does Reuben have? So we're going to list all the possibilities that equal 6. And it tells us in the second clue that one person has 4 more than the other. That's 6 more than that. That's 4 more than that. That's 2 more than that. And that's exactly the same. So this is the only one that makes sense. I can cross out these or just leave them there and underline this one is fine. And then I got a label. It says Micah has 4 more. So this is going to be Micah, and that's Reuben. How many does Reuben have? Reuben has 1 belt. All right, here's number 3, different kind of problem. While visiting a park, Gary noticed that in one area, the gardener designed the flowers with 12 plants in the second row, 18 in the third, 24 in the fourth, and 30 in the fifth. If this pattern continues, talking patterns here, how many plants will be in the 6th row? One way to solve the problem is to create a chart and look for patterns. So row 2 had 12, row 3 18, 24, 30. You can see that these are counting by what? Well, you should have said 6. So also 4 times 6 is 24, 5 times 6 is 30. So what would go in here? Go ahead and fill that in. 36 plants. All right, let's move on. Oh, that's it. Thank you for watching.